Hi, myself Adinarayanan. Today we are going to discuss about how to call a servlet from JSP by using hyperlink or by submitting form. So in the previous video, we saw about some theoretical concept related to servlet life cycle, that is init method, service method, and destroy method. And also we saw how to create a servlet by extending HTTP servlet. In that scenario, your class will not have init service destroy because those methods are written in generic servlet and in HTTP servlet. So here, so in HTTP servlet, we mainly wrote do get and do post method. So when the HTTP request comes with the get method, then it calls do get. When HTTP request from the browser comes with the post method equal to post, then it calls do post method. So we don't create any servlet by extending generic servlet or by implementing servlet interface, because our HTTP servlet extends those things and implements servlet interface. So we are going to concentrate only on do get and do post. Okay, now as a first step, let's create one servlet. Let me create one servlet called any. Already we created one servlet. This is a servlet, and there is a method called do get and do post. So you know what is this one? We are giving a path to this servlet. We are giving a path. We are giving a path to this servlet. So by using at web servlet. So at web servlet, this annotation is processed by the container at deployment time, and the corresponding servlet are made available at the specific URL pattern. That is, we are giving a URL or a path, one of the same. We are giving a URL or a path. So if you want to access a servlet from browser, you should use this one. Your servlet class name and this name can be different, but to be meaningful, your path name and the servlet name is same. To be meaningful, that's all. So this one. If we give this yes, so then what is your path name for this servlet? So SS is the path name for this servlet. So it is not meaningful, right? That's why we gave employee servlet. So for example, now I changed, see here, reloading the context. If it is not reloading the context, then you need to restart, stop and restart. If it is reloading, okay, we have changed something. Now your dot class file is compiled again and deployed and deployment. So whenever you change, you are changing here, right? You are changing in this project. You need to deploy this project to the server. So that's why Eclipse does it automatically. Whenever you change and save, does it. So if you want to call this servlet, how will you call now? Don't use this name. You use SS. I go here. I give here SS employee. See here, it won't work. See here, you are getting 404 error. What is 404 error? The origin server did not find any current representation of the target resource and is not willing to exit. Meaning, from the browser, this request goes localhost 8080 slash new bank web slash employee servlet. Now, when this URL is submitted to the container, so now container sees, is there any servlet with path name called employee servlet? Container will see. So container will see whether anything. No, there is nothing. You have only one servlet, and it is the path is SS. So, so container tells you, informs you that 404, there are 404, meaning, so for each problem, for each error, for each problem, server will respond with a number. And if you see status code, HTTP status code, HTTP, Google, HTTP, STATUS status code. See here. So what are all the HTTP status code available? Let's type this one. See what are the status. So from 100 to 900 information response. Successful response 200 to 290. It will send any number. If it is success 200, then for different reason it may send from 200 to 209. Redirect 300 to 399. What is client error? See here 400 to 499. So what is the error now you are getting? 404. It's a client error, meaning client is sending a wrong URL. It is sending an URL for which a server could not able to find a servlet. That's why it is sending 404. Your server is responding with 404. You can go and read here. What is 404? What is 404? See here. The server cannot find the request resource. Yeah. In the browser, this means the URL is not recognized. In an API, this can be also mean that the endpoint is valid, but the resource itself does not exist. Server may also send the response 403 to hide the existence of the resources from an unauthorized client. We are getting 404. What is the problem? See, method not allowed here. 405. Method not allowed. 406, 7, 408. Conflict 9, 10. See, what is 500? 500. What is 500? Internal server error. The server has encountered a situation it does not know how to handle. Bad gateway. Gateway. So these are all status code. What is the status you are getting? 404. What is the description? The origin server does not find a current update. Yeah, because there is no servlet associated with the path called employee servlet. Class name is different and your path name is different. Servlet path. This is path. How will you mention the path name for a servlet? At web servlet slash yes, at web servlet. So this one can be any name. So always to be meaningful, give this name and this name same. Servlet name and path name to be meaningful. Okay, now how to call that servlet? How to call that servlet? By using SS. If I run, what the request will go to the Tomcat to 8080 port. From there, it will your container will find that a servlet is associated with a path called slash SS. That is URL. This entire thing is called URL, Uniform Resource Locator. URL. What is the URL of your application? What is the URL of the Facebook application? Okay, URL. So now let me enter. See here, you got the output. If I give someone, is there any other servlet associated with the SSJ? No. So server is responding with I could not able to find any servlet for your request. So server is responding. Okay. So now what? Let's go. Let's create another one servlet. Here, let me create another one servlet. How will you create a servlet? Right click, new. Here, go here. If it's servlet, you can use this. Others, go here. Others, web. Inside web, there is servlet. Next, give some name. CUS, CUMER, customer, SARVLET. You are informing to the Eclipse create servlet by extending this HTTP servlet. Okay. Okay. Package. In which package it is going to com.neo web.controller here. Com.neo web.controller. Let me finish. See here, two servlets. So what is the path of this servlet? Slash SS. What is the path of this servlet? See, path of this servlet, customer servlet. This is a servlet and this is a path. So this can be your servlet name or class name or it can be anything. To be meaningful, we are giving, see capital letter, very important. This capital letter, you should type the same way. If it is small letter, type small letter. If it is capital letter, type capital letter. So that matters in Java, right? Okay. So what is the path of your servlet? What is your servlet name? What is your servlet? Class name? Customer servlet. What is the path name? this one slash customer servlet. Okay, now see whether it is restarted. So reloading context. I think so. It is started. Okay, restart. Otherwise, if there is no, I have to stop the server. How will you stop the server? Right click, stop the server. Then after that, right click, start the server. Start the server. Okay, now it is restarting because already started. So it is mentioned. So stop and start the server if you could not able to access. So what is the path name? This one. This one, right? This one, right? We are going to use this one. Control C. I copy this one and go to so so what are the methods available inside the servlet? See, what are the methods available? This is constructor. You know what is super. See why you are using super as a first line, as a first line. So super should be always as a first line inside the constructor. So read constructor, you will understand. So what are the methods available? There is a do get method and there is a do post method. Those are two methods are available. And what is the parameter? Request and HTTP request is the type. Response, HTTP response is the type. If there is any problem, this method will throw this exception. What is the exception? Servlet exception and IO exception. Any may throw, so that your caller should be able to handle that. Anyway, you can, if you read exception, you will understand. Okay. So, so all the things that is coming from the browser will be stored here. All the things, if you want to send it to the browser, then you need to store into this. That's why you are storing here. This is not the right way we write. Anyway, just understand, but this is not inside the response. All the should be written. So here you are getting the object and you are appending this one. Server at anything, no, anything. Whatever you are going to tell, append, no, whatever this is going to tell, this will respond. Here also, if you want to type something, you can type. Achai hai. Why? Okay. So why your control is your container is calling this method instead of this method? Because when you call from a URL from the browser URL, it is always get method equal to get. That's why container is calling get method. Before that, see where there is a web.xml here. Inside web.inf, there is web.xml. Open this one. This is the configuration file. Okay, here design and source. Use this one source. Don't use design. Use this source. Here console is here. You can see the output and server is here. Data source explorer, properties, markers. Okay. See here, that's all. Welcome list file. I will explain about what is welcome list file. So as of now, we are here, right? Yeah, here customer service. So there is a do get. So when you call from the browser URL, your method browser will submit the request as method equal to get. That's why you are. That's why container is calling do get. Container is calling do get, and container is not calling do post. I will next we will see how to call do post. Okay. Now it is coming here and CC at. You are getting the output. This is not right approach. We'll remove this one, right? So, Okay. So let me system.out.println. You know what is system.out.println. So let us make it here. Above this one, huh? Get is called. Get is called. See here? Control Shift here. Control S. So what is the servlet class name? Controller servlet is the class name. What is the path associated with this? If you want to call the servlet, then you are going to use the name that is you give here. It's a path name. Adverb servlet. Adverb servlet is the annotation. Java annotation. Annotation is processed by the container at deployment time. Okay, you can. So this one you can do. This one you can associate a path by using at servlet annotation, or you can write in web.xml, or else you can. So this one you are associating this path to this web servlet, right? To this servlet, right? You are associating this path to this servlet. How? By using adverb servlet, or else you can use web.xml. Web.xml. In this you can write. Go here two way. Either you do by using web.xml, or you do by using adverb servlet. Here servlet example. How does it work? Let me show you this. Yeah, see here. Either you can use this 8 line in the web.xml, write this 8 line. See here, what is this one? There's a tag, servlet tag, servlet tag. This is servlet tag. See servlet name. You are giving a name. Servlet class. See here, this is class name. You should be with the package name. This is servlet class name. What is your servlet class name? What is your servlet class name? This is servlet class. Your class name. This is class name. Here, servlet class. So here a class name including package name. What's the package here? com dot com dot neoweb dot controller dot customer servlet. You should give something like this. And here you can give any name. Here you can give any name. Whatever you are going to give here, you should give here. See here servlet mapping. This is to describe the servlet, and this is to map. This name and this name should match. This name and this name should match. You can give a URL pattern. You can give a URL pattern slash welcome. So from browser, if you call slash welcome, your container will see what is the name, and it will go the name here, and it will call this servlet. So either you write this 8 line in web.xml, either you write 8 line in this web.xml, or else write a single line in the servlet itself. One and the same. That 8 line and this one line is one and the same. So the container will read this one, and whenever the request comes, and if the URL maps, that is if the path or URL this map, then it will call the servlet. So when you from the browser, if a request comes to the port 8080, it will come to the port 8080. From there it will come to your project, and your project will look into web.xml. Either you write here or you write in web.xml. Both are here. When you write here, it is also written in both.xml as per the understanding. Okay. Now your container will go and see the web.xml and see whether is there any servlet is mapped to that path, to that URL. If it is there, then your container will invoke the init method then it will invoke the service method. So if the request comes to the same servlet, then it won't invoke the init method. It will call only the service method for the second request. Even if you are going to receive 1,000 requests, only for the first request is called the init. For all other requests, it will call the service method. So since you are writing do get or do post, your container will directly call do get or do post. That is, in internally it will call the service, and from the service it will identify whether it's do get or do post, and it will call do post or do get. So you should be very clear on this one. If you read the tutorial, either any tutorial for theory purpose, you can understand. So how we are associating our URL to the servlet, you should have an understanding. Okay. If you want call this servlet, then call customer servlet from the browser. SS, right? Instead of SSS, if you call this one, now you are sending request to the port 8080, right? This one, port 8080. Now, once it reaches the port 8080, and Tomcat will see what is the project and what is the path URL. What is the path? So it will go and discuss web.xml, and it will see in the web.xml other configuration. If you write at web servlet, then it also asks if you return in web.xml. It's a shorthand way. Rather than writing in web.xml, you are using shorthand way at web servlet, and you are giving the path. Anyway, even if you write there, you think that it is written in web.xml as if container is writing that into this web.xml. Okay, now your container will discuss the configuration file, which is the configuration file for your web application. Web.xml is the configuration file, and it will see into that and identify the servlet. If it is not able to identify the servlet, it will send 404 error to the browser. If it could able to identify the servlet, then it will call the init method if it is first time. Otherwise, it will call the service, and based on the, since we wrote the servlet as do get or do post, that is by extending HTTP servlet, it will call do get or do post based on the method that is coming from the browser. Okay, let me try this one. It is not calling do get, it is calling do get, it is not calling do post because of method equal to get. See here why it's 404, it could be able to find customer service. Why is that? Okay, now already it is there. The path is there, but may not be deployed properly. May not be deployed properly. Stop the server. Okay, stop. Then start. Right click, start. Okay. So when you are getting something like that, and check whether your path name. So this is a simple way of writing rather than writing 8 line in the web.xml. So either you write it 8 line in the web.xml as if I showed, or else you write a short way of add web servlet. Now container will think that that container will write this information into web.xml, and so when the request comes here, when the request comes to server will look into web.xml for the mapping, path mapping to the servlet, and accordingly the methods are called. Okay, now let's try. Now let's try. See, you got now. So if there is any problem, what is the thing? Start the because it may not deploy properly. Whenever you change here, when you are changing the file, after that you should deploy this file to the Tomcat, right? So you do the deployment again. Start and restart, it will work. Start and restart, then it will work. Okay. Now you know if you are going to write another one servlet, you know how to. Now there are two servlet, right? If you want to call this servlet, how will you do? Slash SS. So if you want to call this servlet, this one, you know web.xml. No need right hereafter. You no need write in web.xml. Use the shortest path at web servlet. Don't write in web.xml that 8 line. Which is the 8 line? Either you write this 8 line servlet, servlet name, servlet class, servlet mapping. This is servlet mapping and servlet. Okay, and see here the explanation also given here. Servlet, servlet name, servlet class, servlet mapping, URL pattern is a sub element. This pattern is used at client side browser, that is in browser, to invoke the servlet. How will you invoke the servlet? By using URL pattern, by using URL pattern, path name or URL pattern. So what is the URL pattern here for this? What is the URL pattern for this servlet? This one. This can be anything. You can give any name. So now you know what this one. So this name, first you write the servlet class name with the package name. Then you give any name, ABCD, any name. Then use this name here, and here you can give any path, so that from the URL, from the browser, if an URL is coming to this, then it will call that servlet. So that's how you are calling servlet from the browser. So next one. Okay, now next one, let me call, even if you can create another one servlet, we will create another one servlet. How will you create the servlet? See here, servlet, highlight, next. We are creating servlet by extending HTTP servlet. Give a name, give a name, give a name, PRODUCT, product, SERVLET, servlet. Let me finish. See here, another one servlet is created. What is the URL pattern for this servlet? What is the URL pattern for this servlet? For this servlet, what is the URL pattern for this servlet? This one. PRODUCT. Anyway, this name is wrong. Anyway, not an issue. Anything. Okay, this one and this one. Okay. So how will you call the servlet from the? So see what is inside here. Do get and do post. Do get and do post. I didn't change anything. Let me try to call. Okay. Okay. From URL, if I want to call this one, Control C. If I want to call this one, probably I should change this. We are getting 404. Maybe deployment does not happen. Didn't happen. Stop. 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 Okay. Stop. Okay. You stop the server and restart. Start. So here see, it is starting. Console. See here, server started up. Go here. Server started up. Okay. Now we will try. See here, served at slash something. So from where you are getting this one? Do get. We do get served at. See, this is an append method. You know append method. It's an append method. It is part of response. What is response? This one, HTTP servlet response. It has an append method. You are appending the string. Finally, you are writing all the things into response. Echoes dot get contact. Where, which is this one? This one. There is something. So it is giving some context. Context in the sense, context path. Context in the sense, your project name. Your project name and your context path is same. Okay, your project name. Here, what is your here? Neo Bank Web. The project name. When you deploy a project name, a context is created and the context path and your project name. What is your project name? Neo Bank Web. Okay. So that's why you got. Okay. Now you know how to call from the browser URL. So create an hyperlink and call this servlet. create an hyperlink and call this servlet. Let me create one hyperlink where in already we wrote right web.welcome.jsp, or else create another one JSP where you are going to create inside web. No, not inside web enough. Create outside. You can create inside web enough also, but create outside web enough. So you only in Eclipse you have web contacts. So in so only in Eclipse you have web contacts anyway. You'll understand that. Create one JSP page. How will you create one JSP? You can use this one, or else others JSP file, employee registration.jsp. Let's create one JSP. E sorry EMPLOYE employee REGISTRETION, any name. Okay, finish. See, this is the JSP creator. So this is the JSP creator. You know what all these things and all. Okay, so type here hyperlink, register customer. Hyperlink. How will you create an hyperlink? A href. You know what is href? Equal to double quotes register something. REGCUSTOBT, REGIST, yeah, register CSTOM, customer BTAILS. Okay, some H, you know what is H2? And you know IBANK. Okay, so you created, so you mentioned the path here. So what is the path here? What is the path here? So if you want to call a servlet, customer servlet, what is the path? Customer servlet. What is the path? URL. What is the URL? Customer servlet is the URL. Give that here. Control S. So here href. That's all. So now you should call employee registration.jsp page. When you click this hyperlink, this one will be go as a request. So then it calls the customer servlet and it responds. Okay, we will see. We will see. What I did, I created one JSP. That's all. Here I created one JSP, and this is the line. Nothing. I wrote one head and I wrote this hyperlink. Okay, how will you run this? How will you run this JSP? Employee registration.jsp, right? How will you call this JSP? EMPLOYE employee REGISTRETION registration dot JSP. Enter. See here, you got Neo iBank. See here, when I click this one, where does it go? See, see my browser. See my screen. See here. You see here. See here. When I click my mouse here, see here, and see what is the URL. What is the URL? You can see what is the localhost 8080 neobank web slash customer server. This is the URL that will be fired to the. How does you got up to neobank web in the JSP, right? You wrote in the JSP, you wrote only customer server because this application, right? This application is in this project. So the default up to the project name is default. Up to the project name is default. See here, localhost 8080 neobank web slash customer server. You no need to Give in the href the entire thing, localhost 8080 neo bank web, no need to give that. Only give the servlet path name, that's all. Servlet URL name, path name or URL name on the servlet URL name. So very important here, you see here, very important. Okay, so here, right, in this here, and I see here, let me click this one. Okay, now one and the same. By click this one, see, you got the output. Now you will understand how to call the servlet from the page. How? Add a hyperlink to your page, and in the href, add a hyperlink to the page. In the href, give the servlet URL. See, I gave servlet URL. You got, right? You got. So see, when you click hyperlink, there are two methods: do get and do post. Right? How does it is calling do get? Because by default, hyperlink is always do get method type. When you click hyperlink, browser will always add a method equal to get. Okay, okay. So now you got. Okay. So so how to next one? What we can do now? Suppose if you want to get a do post method, suppose if you want to call do post method, if you want to call do post method, see here now. So always it is calling this method, right? This method do get both the way. If you want to do get from the method, you need to send a method equal to post. Okay, if you if the container wants to call do post, then you should send from the browser method equal to post. We will see how to do that one. So go to this JSP page, create a form. You know how to create a HTML form, right? FORM form, ACTION, action equal to, you know what is the input, TYP type equal to input, TYP type equal to TXT text, TXT text, name equal to some name, FNAME name, age. You know how to create a HTML form, right? Age. Then how will you create a submit button? Submit button. Type input type type equal to submit, name equal to something, name equal to something, SB, and value value equal to register customer. You know, input, 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 Okay. So when you run this one, what will happen? You will a form is created, registration form. Okay. So now see what is the action, the path, action. You have to give the path to the action. That's it. That's all. So here href equal to you are giving the servlet path. Here you give the servlet path. Any servlet path URL. That is any servlet URL. So if this entire form details will go to that servlet. So now when you submit, we will see whether it is calling. So when you click this one, you are getting do get method is called, right. See when you submit this one, when you type, when you click this button, it will call do post. We will see. We will see. Okay, now I wrote just the thing wrote. Nothing other than this. So two input text box and one submit button. Input type equal to submit. Okay. See here. Okay, I created one JSP page and this is the thing I wrote. Now this is the thing I wrote from here to here. That's all. So nothing other than this. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, now what shall we do? I think so. Your server is restarted. I think so. See here, reloading contact something. If we are not getting the result, just stop and restart. That's all. So now what we can do? Let's go to the browser. Let's go to the browser. Call the JSP first. Call the JSP. What is the JSP name? Employee registration, right? Employee registration. See here, you're getting type something. Now when I click this here, will it call do get or do post when I click this here? Because when you submit the form, browser will send a method equal to post. When you click this one, browser will send method equal to get. When you go here and enter, browser will send method equal to get. But when you submit a form, browser will send method equal to post. So let me try, right? Let me try. Hi, at hi. Is it calling this one or do get? I think so. It is calling get. Why? See, it is calling this one. Why? So change your JSP page method equal to here. Make method 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 equal to post. See method equal to post. I'll save. Save. I saved. Okay, I saved. Come here. Go here. Go here. No customer servlet. Employee registration.js. Refresh. Huh? Okay. Now let me type something. Let me type something. See here, customer method equal to post. Now, which method is called? Do get method is not called. Your post method is called. Your post method is the what is your post method called. Here, from here, if you go here, do post method is called. So that's why you are getting this output. Here also, see here, post is called console, the console, and the output is that is sent to the browser is this one. customer post method at, not this one. So if you want to call do get or do post, then here, here is the call, right? Now when you get, so how you wrote this JSP page method equal to post. So if you ask me whether by using hyperlink can we call post, that is not the right approach. That is not right approach. Always by browser will append method equal to get, whereas here you are appending method equal to post. So this is the right step. So hyperlink is get and this is method equal to post. Very, very important. Now you got some idea about how to create a form and how to submit and how to submit. See, we will see you are typing something right now. You got an idea, right? How to create an hyperlink, how to create a form, action. What is this one? This servlet name or servlet URL? Servlet URL, not a servlet class name. This is about URL. URL. Input type equal to submit and use this one. You should be able to get. So if you are not getting or you are getting 404 error, just stop the server and restart and try. You will get it. Okay. Now you got an idea. You got an idea how many servlet, how to call. You can create a number of servlet, how to call all those servlet. This is the thing. This is the thing. Nothing other than this. Next, we will see in the next video, we will see how to retrieve the parameter and store to database. Okay. And so probably thanks for your time.